Cheers! Welcome to Movie Bitches!
Summer camp, well, I was going to say continues, but really summer camp ends. We have reached our last theme.
Our final theme.
Action men genre bend.
Genre.
We're really going out with a wacky bang.
But first
things first. Shout out to our Patreon supporters. $5 a month gets you ad-free early access. $10 gets you access to our viewing parties.
I really think is the key to this whole summer camp.
It's the way to watch.
It's just the viewing parties, honestly, because you're experiencing them for the first time with Andrew.
Yeah.
And I'm re-experiencing them from childhood. So there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the Hudson Hawk viewing party, I wish we had hired a sound operator.
Oh boy. We need to get someone in the corner there. It's loud. I'm sorry.
Yep.
It's loud.
Yep. We will turn down the peaking of Avaryl going, ah! It's great.
I don't apologize for anything.
You shouldn't. Don't change a thing. You're great.
Did I tell you at the time I was laughing in the high school? I was laughing so hard in my bedroom at something that my dad heard me from across the house.
Good.
And said, "What is going on?" That's how much it carried.
And you're like, it's just SNL, Dad. It's Martin Short.
Don't worry about it. I'm just watching Hudson Hawk. Stop it. But anyway.
Yes, second thing. Second, make sure to subscribe. Click that bell.
Oh,
share.
It was just like a
It was a
Pavlovian.
I know, I messed it. Share. Oh. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Letterboxd, all those good things. But do make sure to click the subscribe button. We have season 5 of RuPaul's Drag Race coming up after this. We have Witchtober.
Many exciting things coming up.
Exciting things. So subscribe and tell everybody that you know to subscribe.
First up, tonight we will be talking about Her Alibi.
Yeah.
Her Alibi.
From 1989.
Okay, great.
It's one of the older ones.
Oh, we're breaking the rules.
Well, the rules are, the majority are the
Yeah,
early 90s,
This one had a 17 on Rotten Tomatoes, so it still falls in that rule.
It still follows. And it's camp. Mm-hmm. No one remembers it, and It is not well received.
Yeah. There are some movies that we have watched for this or in general that you've introduced me to, let's say, where it's wacky, it's fun, it's not well received, but it really is kind of great, right?
Yeah.
It's fun and like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Siskel. Like, sometimes you're just like, wow, that was way harsh type.
I just read Ebert's review of Dead Ringers, and I was like, you missed it.
You see?
You missed it.
Yeah. And sometimes it happens.
But it's subjective.
Yeah, it is.
So I'll ask you this.
Okay.
Before we get into spoilers.
Oh.
Because there are some.
Well, I guess there are spoilers.
There's some twists and turns.
Yeah, I could not have predicted this.
So I would recommend this movie. I think it's fun and funny.
Oh, it's worth a watch.
What do you think?
It's an hour and 36 minutes. So yeah, you could watch it. This one, not a perfect movie.
No.
Not what a gem. However, a lot of shiny pieces to it.
I think it's really interesting as a rom-com.
Yeah.
So Her Alibi from
Yes.
1989, starring Tom Selleck and Paulina Porizkova and William Daniels, Mr. Feeney.
Oh yeah.
In a rom-com that to me is targeted at straight men.
A little bit.
Which I find really fascinating.
It's a horny PG
horny on main.
rom-com
Erotica.
of action thriller.
It genre bends.
It genre bends, but like within one movie, it bends genres.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of the above.
Yeah.
And so I think it feels like a different kind of rom-com that we don't always see. And
I agree.
I really like that both of them are fully realized characters.
Yeah.
We know them.
Yeah.
We see them grow emotionally over the course of the film, which is what you grab onto in a rom-com,
Absolutely.
right?
There's a lot of foul play vibes to this.
Very that.
Which I think is such a fun type of movie.
And they don't make them.
No, and I don't get it because it really does scratch so many itches, right? This is the perfect, this movie, I think foul play is better.
Foul play is better.
But these kinds of movies are the perfect crowd pleaser where it's like,
I think so.
What should we watch tonight, honey? Oh, I want a comedy. I don't want a rom-com. I want an action movie. Well, guess what?
Yeah.
Mimi, we did.
Well, guess what, Mimi? We did.
You get both. You get an action. You get a rom-com.
Yeah.
You get a slutty, horny, sexy, but not actually that sexy, but
Right.
You know, it
And
plays.
also a Looney Tunes cartoon.
And a Looney Tunes cartoon.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just shut the engine off.
And an impromptu musical. Not in this one.
Not in this one. An impromptu,
Clown show?
clowning.
Big time.
The clowning has begun.
What's that? Someone say something? Hello?
Dancing, trampoline act that comes out of nowhere.
Boy, they came out of nowhere.
Twice.
Boy, they came out of nowhere.
And I like that this movie is meta. It's, it's making fun of writers writing the act of, like, how does VO fit into, like, the voiceover is its own character.
Perceptive as always, Swift knew that she needed him. That without him, she'd be as helpless as a lost child.
It's like adaptation in that way.
Yes, it is like adaptation.
The voiceover's taken over.
Yeah.
My leg hurts. I wonder if it's cancer. There's a bump. I'm starting to sweat. Stop sweating. I've got to stop sweating. Can she see it dripping down my forehead? Oh, she looked at my hairline. She thinks I'm bald.
You think you're great.
There's weird, surreal things happening that make it more interesting than if it was just, some other kind of movie.
Yeah. Adaptation also much more successful than this.
Obviously.
But yes.
Oh boy, do I love adaptation. Oh my God.
That movie is really quite great.
I fucking love it.
Why the fuck are you wasting my 2 precious hours with your movie? I don't have any use for it. I don't have any bloody use for it.
Okay, thanks.
So Tom Selleck is a smutty Tom Clancy.
Yes.
His lecture on laser weapons to the assembled anti-terrorism experts was, as expected, a great success. But the girl, why was she there? Was she KGB? CIA? IRS? There was no denying her physical attributes.
He's writing bad erotica. I really enjoy that everyone in the movie is constantly taking the piss out of him.
Yes.
He's macho, Tom Selleck, handsome as fuck, built like a brick house, man.
Yeah.
And he is terrified of Paulina Porizkova.
Yes.
Everything is like undercutting his masculinity at all times.
Yes.
And he takes it in stride.
He really does.
Forget Susan. She left you.
Thanks for reminding me, Sam.
That's okay, Phil. My God, must have been so humiliating. Leaving you for a literary critic.
Why would you think that?
It's kind of endearing.
I think it is.
I think it is.
I think the dynamic in a different way wouldn't work. Like,
No.
She needs to, the gender roles have been reversed, and
Yes.
she is sort of the cool, calm, collected, powerful, confident one.
Yes.
And he is a mess.
A mess.
Not that all women in these, but no, in rom-coms, usually the woman is like, I'm a disaster.
Oh, I'm so fumbly. I can't even go.
Oh, I fell over.
Yeah.
Oh my God, my life. What am I gonna do? And so they switched it.
They did, and that's fun.
Are you all right?
I'm fine.
For me, because he was so swarmy with his writing, I was fully turned off.
He's expressing his fan-fictional feelings.
I do appreciate
through
your
the
lens
art.
on that.
I
get that.
He's
journaling.
He's journaling his feelings.
His eyes explored every inch of her glistening, wet body. Her eyes explored every inch of his muscled torso.
Her taut pomegranates pressed against his steel-hard skin. The pomegranates was giving me my dad wrote a porno.
Oh my God, it really was.
Those pomegranates.
Her breasts squashed against him like ripe pomegranates. They kissed. She nearly passed out from the rapture of the moment, but Swift, familiar with this reaction from past encounters, gathered her into his arms as her body went limp.
He's trying to project a more confident, masculine man that he is not.
That is true.
But the movie is constantly making fun of him. I think it's really interesting that he agreed to do this part.
Yeah.
He's cowardly. a mess. He has he's a terrible writer, and everyone tells him he's a terrible writer. The whole time, it's predictable.
You're reading one of my books. I thought you were strictly Proust and Dostoevsky.
Oh, I could not go to sleep last night, and I knew this would help.
It's not very. You know that spy guy you write about?
Look, we know you're an independent guy, and you pride yourself on being like that detective character of yours, but something's bothering you.
We're worried about you.
That's your sister-in-law. She should know what he's called.
Oh my God.
Everyone is constantly dragging him down.
Yes.
And so it works for me.
Yeah.
You know? I do think this movie is a direct result of Romancing the Stone.
I get that.
Right?
I like that.
Writer who is a very shy, introverted, person, or is having a difficult time, and they're writing their fantasies, and then that fantasy comes to life, and they get to, basically jump inside one of their own books, essentially.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love that too. I wish that Lost City did a better job of it. I know you never saw it still, right?
I did.
It
could have been there.
It could have been there. It was just so poorly written.
Yeah.
And
it's unfortunate.
It really is.
Yeah.
Because that is the kind of, and like Sandra Bullock, and like the makings were there, and it just fell not even super, it was like a B-.
Right.
Which is almost worse.
It's almost worse. Oh, I'd rather watch an F.
Like,
sure.
Right? At that point.
Give me an F.
Oh, right. So he's a smutty Tom Clancy writer. He has a courtroom gang.
Not guilty.
Not guilty. We're asking for a reasonable amount of bail, Your Honor.
Not a chance.
Bail is set at
$500,000.
$500,000.
That I really am obsessed with.
Obsessed.
I'm copywriting this.
Yeah.
But I do want there to be like a Only Murder She Wrote in the Courthouse series where we just follow these characters.
I'm very into it.
Oh, great. We meet every Thursday at the courthouse and we just predict and talk about and pick up ideas. And yes. Ripped from the headlines of the courthouse. I'm obsessed. Love it.
It was really giving the Thursday Murder Club, which is like Richard Osman wrote this series, and they're all like octogenarian.
I think you talked about it at some point.
Murder, I'm gonna solve this murder or whatever. I think it's definitely optioned, and it might be in production.
Oh, okay, great.
And there's a few in the series, and so this was giving that like, oh, what do you do with your free time? Do you wander into a matinee movie? Do you do this? Now that you're a retiree? No, we go to the courthouse and we gossip.
It was a drug case down the hall, a kidnapping on the second floor, and a big malpractice upstairs.
All the side characters were fun. Like everyone had a little bit of business to do.
Anyone who was acting had a backstory.
Yeah. His courtroom crew, William Daniels, there's a whole scene where, he's having trouble at work and he's got it takes 15 seconds.
Right.
Get back to the typewriter.
Right.
How's Blackwood going? You got him working?
As we speak, Hank.
I hope so, Sam. You've been backing him a long time. There's a buzz around. If he bombs out, you do too.
His job is on the line because Tom Selleck has writer's block. They didn't need to put that in there, but it informs what's going on.
Yeah.
His wife is real cunty, and I was into it.
Oh my gosh, she was great.
I have a confession to make. I've been lying about my age for years.
Christ, we all know that.
This isn't the woman I married 15 years ago.
You're damn right it isn't. That woman lives on Central Park West. You married me 12 years ago.
We got married 12 years ago. I love it. Absurd. Hilarious.
She is underweight.
Oh my God!
Come on over here and have some, dear. You're very underweight.
It was just like, we don't know what to do with this scene. Cut away. Cut back to her.
I know what all the fuss is about. So if he falls, he falls. Clowns. Here comes Wonder Woman. I could do that.
Sassy response. Cut back to her in this solo close-up.
Yep. I loved it. And I missed that, like, depth of filmmaking where, again, it doesn't take that much time.
No.
I mean, in the film itself. In the production, it takes time, right? Everyone needs to know who they are.
What are the motivations for what's happening? Motivation, I find, is really lacking in like, well, why would that character do that? Well, why would they do that? Well, why would they do that? Well, but that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. And it's a lot of, because the script said so.
Right,
Nowadays.
and it's like, and nowadays.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, why is this editor so desperate to have him, like, get a book out or whatever? Why is he spending so much attention? Oh, because he needs him, he's his meal ticket? Great.
Well, why is Tom Selleck giving Paulina Porizkova an alibi when she's up for murder, right? part of it is, of course, she's a beautiful, beautiful woman.
Right, and he's in love and
all of that, but it's because he's a mess.
Yeah.
He needs a lifeline, and he's decided that she is it, you
Yeah.
know. But so you understand, you don't maybe like agree. You're like, this guy's fucking nuts, but you understand why he's doing it.
Yeah.
Because of the character they've set up.
It's true.
Swift had penetrated enemy headquarters. His mastery of disguise was legendary.
But oh my God, when he comes in dressed like that priest.
Oh my God.
With the mustache. Now you liked the scruff.
I
You
liked the scruff.
beard.
I don't want to say softened him,
Right.
but there was something to me that was more attractive.
It was his mustache is so familiar. It was like a
Sure.
warm hug when he shaved off the beard. I was like, oh,
Okay.
Tom's here.
Good.
He's back. Where was he? He was gone.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I know Tom Selleck from much.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know what I mean?
Sure.
He's
kind of famous for being Tom Selleck, but like Three Men and a Baby.
I never watched.
Oh, okay. We watched that one a lot.
Yeah. So like, I knew of Tom Selleck,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
like of the mustache, but I wasn't like, oh, I've seen him in this way for so many things.
Right.
It didn't mean anything to me.
That's fine. But we start with a bang.
Why can't people get themselves murdered on the ground floor?
God, why can't anybody just get murdered on the ground floor? That sick, dark, black humor is prevalent in a lot of these movies.
That you mean of the summer camp.
Of this specific summer camp.
Yeah, I guess now that we're talking about it, right?
Right.
Looking back at the oeuvre, there's been a lot of murder.
There is a lot of murder, but in a comedic way.
In a very comedic way.
I think laughing at death is the only way to cope.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, but yeah,
and
that is
apparently as a
interesting.
small child, I understood that.
You did.
I don't know.
Yeah, because it's comedic.
Yeah.
All of them have been comedic. Even when you look at
Radioland murders?
Well, certainly Radioland murders, right? Some like not graphic deaths because they don't really show them. Well, the elevator and the grinding and the gears of the stage, but you don't really like. It's not like gory of like, oh, my arm is pulled out and like here's blood spurting.
Right.
No, it's not that. But even in terms of like the play and they're all dead, but they're not, and they're all in the body of Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, Heart and Souls. Again,
Heart and Souls.
We're talking about death.
Yeah.
And we're kind of joking about it. We're examining it.
Yes.
And that isn't really in many children's films these days, for sure.
For sure.
But
even in
dramas,
most
you know,
films.
I feel like there's something there where you have to laugh at it.
Or at least process it.
Process it, yeah. Getting heady.
Yeah, I know, right? I thought you were going somewhere else.
Lamar?
It's not Heady, it's Headley. Headley Lamar.
Love that.
Headley. And, you know, there's surreal things going on. I mean, he's on his zenith.
Despite the dozens of ravishing creatures begging to be part of his life, Swift had lived alone since his wife was incinerated several years before when the microwave went berserk during a thunderstorm.
Which
oh my God, that computer.
Fun too.
Are you sure you want to delete that?
Are you absolutely sure you want to delete
Wise
this file?
choice.
Yeah.
I would like to
the
make
computer was even the computer was taking the piss.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He is just
undercut at every
punching
moment.
back at every moment.
Yeah.
And you don't usually see that.
No, that's true. Especially if someone of that ilk, you know, whatever. Yeah.
And the same thing. Next up we're going to talk about Hudson Hawk.
Yeah.
But it's the same big, strong, masculine action man who's constantly being knocked unconscious, shot with arrows, thrown out of buildings, you know. And of course he's surviving it all because he's...
Well, but also a similar thing of like, oh, he just wants his cappuccino.
He just wants the cappuccino. He just wants to live a life.
Right?
Yeah, surreal choices being made, you know, when we first meet, or one of the first times we meet Paulina Porizkova, and she's got a fantastic eye light.
Oh yeah, it was very like Addams Family Values. Like, you know, oh, they took the time.
It was giving Addams Family Values. But then it cuts to the wide and we're not in a fantasy anymore.
No.
But then...
Well, because it was his perspective.
It was he saw her in a glowing... I'm telling you, this movie's bad, but there's stuff going on that I find to be compelling.
I certainly find interesting.
Yeah.
You know, and fun.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, another thing. Obviously, this is summer camp.
Yes.
So, like, there has to be an element of fun, either in the filmmaking, like they were having fun making it, or
fun in the sound booth when they add
boing. You know, like stupid. Yeah.
There was a couple of pottery smashes.
I was in the neighborhood. Thought I'd check in on the head.
Well, not actual.
I'm gonna put him in here.
Was this one that I wanted the Wilhelm, or was it in Hudson Hawk?
It was Hudson Hawk. If we put together, I might be doing this. We're gonna put together every time someone falls off a building in Hudson Hawk, just do that Wilhelm.
Great, love it.
It's gonna be like a 5-minute. Even when the dog.
Oh my God.
We'll get there. We'll talk about it. We're not there yet. And I remember as a child being very intrigued by his house. Really into the exposed beams, the high ceilings, the pool. It's in the country.
Yeah.
It was an interesting location.
It was. It was certainly charming.
Right?
I think now the decor is particularly dated.
Of course, we do a complete redo of the interior design.
Absolutely.
No wicker furniture.
No.
No wicker furniture! And it informs him, too. Like, this single, the most eligible bachelor in town.
One of the most eligible bachelors in town, and you are looking so svelte, isn't he? How do you do it?
Liposuction.
Oh, you're so witty.
Has this enormous country house with a big kitchen, the life he's living. I mean, this is also like his wife has left him.
Right.
And so obviously she decorated this house, I would assume.
Or maybe not. Maybe it was both. He seems pretty sensitive.
He does.
He is a sensitive guy. And I do like seeing that portrayed on film, you know, especially by like a Tom Selleck type.
That's what I'm saying. He's emotional. He's wearing it on his sleeve. They slow the whole movie down for them to have a conversation in the fields about feelings.
Why did your wife leave you?
She said she left me because I wrote.
But you are a writer.
She said I never really did anything, that I wrote about life, but I never lived it.
Yeah.
And emotion.
Yeah.
And his divorce.
Yeah.
The movie stops.
Yeah.
To develop that.
It's nice.
So why do you cover up your feelings with sarcasm? Well, oh my God.
You make fun a lot, huh? You hide your feelings in, how'd you say?
Sarcasm.
Yeah. Why do you do that?
But that's also while he's like orgasming to her cutting his hair, so.
She knew what she was doing.
Mm-hmm. Let me just get those fingers in there.
That's what I mean too, though. It's like a movie for men. It's a rom-com for men.
Yeah.
This woman is, and it's not super sexual, but she's just, you know, massaging his hair. And it's like an Out of Africa tribute suddenly. And Robert Redford's washing Meryl Streep's hair, and it's like the sexiest thing, right? And this is that, but it's Tom Selleck as Meryl Streep.
Both man and bird and beast.
You know, it's like it's for men in some regard.
Yeah.
And that's probably why it failed.
Maybe. So, quick commercial break, and we will be back with more trampolines.
It sounded like you said trampolines.
Oh. No, there isn't any trampoline. Like but there is a trampoline.
Circus. Trampolines.
Is that happening?
Yeah, like where, the elephants got loose.
I would hope that wouldn't happen very often.
Yeah, way back. There's like tragedies of the circus.
Oh no, yikes.
And this realism continues with these Jumanji bugs, these beetles.
Got it.
It's like fucking
this giant, like literally.
Like you gotta get your house tented.
Right? What's going on?
What's happening in this house in North?
First of all, in Connecticut, there's weird beetles.
Absolutely enormous scarab.
Right?
That's what I miss in movies where it's like, it doesn't make sense, but I love that it doesn't make sense.
Sure.
You know, it's the punchline to the joke.
Yeah.
That joke wouldn't be as funny if it was a regular-sized knife and a regular-sized bug.
Right. If it was a tiny little, like if it was a regular cockroach. No.
That's the difference between camp. It's camp.
It's extra.
I do want to talk about some of his costume choices. We should talk about the costumes in general, but I have a few questions.
Okay, great.
He's wearing multiple times a tie with a polo.
Yeah,
I have never seen that in my life. I mean, it
and
makes
why?
sense. It has a collar.
Well, sure.
But he's cash, but not. I don't know.
I've
never seen that in my life.
He was very dapper, right? Like, he's always dressed.
He dresses for dinner.
Yes.
He's in a tie and suit.
Yeah.
You know? And they're just having dinner at his house.
They're just having dinner at home.
Yeah.
He made soup.
I call it soup.
Oh, soap.
Soup.
Ah, soap.
No, soup.
What is
this?
This, though? What's this? And constantly not tucking in his belt fully.
Yeah. That's the casual,
that was a
right?
real
it was just
pet peeve. I was like, you gotta
tuck that.
You gotta tuck
loose
that
end in.
What's going on? You gotta tuck it. You gotta tuck it in. You just gotta do
Slide
it.
it through that extra loop.
It doesn't take that much time.
And it wasn't like it was so short that it wouldn't quite fit.
Nope.
It was long enough that he could easily.
And it was. I thought, oh, maybe that in that take, the script supervisor didn't get around to telling them, but then it was in multiple different scenes.
I don't know.
Since we're talking about costumes, and this also ties in. I feel like costumes is a theme of this summer camp as well.
Of this one particular, because you, young Avaryl, loved costumes.
Clothes, interesting garments, effort put forth.
Yes.
And in this and in Hudson Hawk, but in a lot of these movies, over the top costumes and camp really go hand in hand.
Yes.
But the icon that is Anne Roth did the costume designs for this movie. She really shines at the end with all the clown costumes.
Yeah.
We'll get there, but turns out Paulina Porizkova is defecting from Romania and is in a clowning family of acrobats. Didn't think that was gonna happen.
Like, honestly, if for $1 million you were like, come up with the craziest, wackiest thing that you think is the explanation.
Yeah.
Nope.
It's good.
Yeah.
But that really shines where the clown costumes could have just been, oh, everyone's kind of dressed like a clown.
They could have been like stupid cheap.
Or just, oh, they all kind of look the same.
Yep.
Every clown has a backstory. They're like high fashion clowns.
Yes.
There's a Vogue cover in here with these clowns. Some of them.
I would actually really love that.
I'd be into it.
Shot by like Annie Leibovitz.
Yeah. Every single one, even the background players. You're like, what's going on with Cowboy Clown?
The ace detective's mastery of karate, judo, taekwondo, and macrame, combined with his gutsy knack for street fighting to make him more than a match for his adversary.
What's happening with this guy?
Yeah.
And the makeup is different, and it's subtle, and it's.
But it makes it feel real. It makes it feel like, oh, this is a group of people that exists in the world because they care, and they're the type that would show up to the Grimaldi funeral.
Grimaldi.
As opposed to just like, oh well, we
got some extras, to be.
They were clowns. There's a clown thing.
Yeah,
happening.
in the credits, they were real clowns.
They were real
just
clowns.
got real clowns to do it, and it shows.
It does.
But Anne Roth's credits include. There's some exciting stuff in here. Oldest is Owl and the Pussycat. She did the hand, the negligee that I think Manila recreated, and it's like with the hands on her boobs.
Oh.
And it's like Barbara Streisand in the. Anyway, the negligee is the best part of the movie. It's unwatchable. She did the costumes for Clute, which famous. Murder by Death, Goodbye Girl, Hair, Dressed to Kill, not the Eddie Izzard, 9 to 5.
Oh.
She worked with Mike Nichols on Silkwood, Working Girl, Postcards from the Edge, Regarding Henry, The Birdcage, Primary Colors, What Planet Are You From, Closer, like all those Mike Nichols movies. The English Patient, In and Out, Talented Mr. Ripley, and Mamma Mia.
Oh my God. Those overalls.
The overalls was the best. Iconic.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, wow, I love that.
Yeah.
Also, a lot of camp in there.
So just shout out to Anne Roth. Really fabulous queen.
Love your work. Oh, right. Well, so the whole thing is that she's been hunted by these Romanians.
The KGB.
Yes.
Yes. So, yes, she's wrongfully accused of murder. Tom Selleck agrees to give her an alibi.
Yeah.
And it turns out the KGB is after her. And so she agrees to come home to his country house. And he's writing erotica and trying to get inspiration for his book. And she's hiding out from the Romanians.
He tried to relieve the tension with a strenuous workout. But even the 200 extra one-arm push-ups did nothing to calm him. Do any of us, Swift wondered, really know the person we fall in love with?
A series of wacky, over-the-top events happen where Tom Selleck is humiliated.
Yep.
With the car.
Oh my God, the windshield wipers.
Windshield wipers.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of accidents that keep happening, right?
Well, and like, is she, the mystery of, is she a killer? Is she gonna
right,
double
the detective
cross him?
puts in his head that like, oh, well, now that she has the alibi, if you disappear, then you can't retract it. But as long as you're alive, then you could threaten her to retract your alibi.
Yeah.
And it's like, sure, although I guess if the guy that provided her alibi mysteriously dies, then that's probably just more suspicious, and she could
I think he was just trying to get into his head. So
well, so you would give her up.
Yeah.
Still alive?
Yes, thank you.
Listen, I read your book over the weekend. Phil, I gotta tell you something. Your work is a little predictable.
That cop is in Dynasty. And does a lot. And for some reason is catnip to everyone on the show.
I mean, he was kind of handsome.
What?
Feelings. Ours. I want you, Crystal, and you want me.
Nick, if it were your baby, I would want to have it.
Why, you think I'd win the Daddy of the Year award?
As an expression of the way I feel about you.
Just like I've been these past couple of weeks without you.
I'm not talking about us.
Damn it, I am.
You know, you're much sweeter in bed. Anybody ever tell you that?
Uh-huh. You people never get enough of anything.
Well, now that you mention it.
I want us to be together.
You're sort of like a fantasy of mine. The man who comes swimming out of the Mediterranean dripping wet, suddenly grabs me with his wet hands, making me wet. Not that I mind.
Everyone is horny on Maine for doctor. He's a doctor.
Oh,
anyway.
well, that's fine. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So you keep being like, well, is she trying to is she running him into the garage to kill him?
Right.
Or
oh, no.
is it an accident?
Yeah.
Is she shooting him in the opposite direction of the target practice with a bow and arrow?
When you're in love, it just makes you want to sing.
She'll make you want to sing. Did you ever feel like that, Lieutenant?
No, what does it feel like?
Ah! Ah!
Okay.
Ah!
All right. I didn't ask for a friggin' recital.
It's so dumb,
Yeah.
but it's a great
bit,
you know. And so he's on the phone with the police officer, the detective, and we only hear that side of it. Don't touch the shaft!
Oh my
God! Oh, don't pull it! Oh, you're pulling it too hard. We're gonna have to call somebody.
Don't touch the shaft! Ah! You're pulling too hard!
She's an animal.
Be gentle with it. Gentle.
She's an animal. She's tearing him apart.
You'll never get it out. We'll need help.
Watch the tip.
Watch the tip. Yeah.
Made me laugh. I think they do a good job of having the mystery at least be intriguing, right?
Yeah.
We see her putting on
weird
face
makeup
paint, and you're like, that's weird. What's going on? Like late at night, you know?
Yeah, you're like, is that a face mask? No, she's
right. Is she exfoliating?
Right.
Or, no.
She starts to start drawing, but then he.
What was he watching? He tightened his grip on the pistol in his hand.
Drops the trash can, falls in the pool, and very silly. Like he is a very bumbling ingenue, you know, like, oh gosh, I'm just so ditzy.
Yeah, it's very that. Oh no, I fell over, you know.
Oh, I fell over. Oh, I fell over again.
Ow!
Oh.
Mr. Powers! My life is such a mess without love, you know, it's very that.
Very that.
And this ghostly dream sequence where she comes in and she's some combination of Bjork and Gozer. Which again didn't need to be in the movie, but added such a weirred, campy flavor.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah, his fever dream.
Now this. And now it's a ghost story.
Yeah. Oh, right. So they're chasing her.
Right.
I guess. They like follow her.
He's expendable, they say.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, they follow her to like mall or whatever. And that's where we get the trampoline scene in the middle of a grocery store.
It was like a sports, Big Five.
It was like a big box store. Sure. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. She evades them, but they are on her tail. And then, well, right. Was this after they fucked?
Yes. So she finally succumbs to his she reads his erotica, and it really turns her on.
I thought she didn't read the erotica until later.
She read the Playboy.
The Playboy.
You read that?
Oh my God.
Loins are moist.
Well, yeah, it was not sexy. No.
My moist loins hunger to have you firmly inside me.
What are you saying?
Words of love.
And so she seduces him, essentially.
Yeah.
And they fuck, and then she's having a sexy swim in the pool.
Yeah.
We see her full boob.
Do we? I missed that.
Full boob.
I think I was distracted by the fact that she was wearing like a long gown in the pool.
She doesn't have a bathing suit. She's
Go
on the run.
naked.
This movie's PG.
Well, right.
Well, we see her full teat. The whole thing. I think it was a mistake. It wasn't. It's sort of in a
Sure.
It's not in a like kind of way.
Yeah.
That makes it all the more kind of real in a way. Like she's so comfortable with that.
Sure.
I mean, I'm reading into it, but like it didn't seem like, and here's Halle Berry's tits in Swordfish.
Right.
That she got paid whatever $1 million for.
Oh.
It was like just a quick.
Wow.
It was weird.
That is weird.
It was like, this had nothing to do with anything.
What does that have to do with anything, babe?
But anyway,
then
the house
explodes.
explodes. Ah! Guess what? He's fine.
Yep. He got thrown out the window. It's a cartoon.
He never felt happier or safer.
Thank God he was standing at that glass door and just got exploded right out of it.
It was very fair game with it. Have I made you watch Fair Game?
I don't think so.
It might be my favorite bad movie.
Wow. Okay, great. Wow.
And Paige from Radioland Murders.
Okay.
Gee, Mr.
Oh, yeah.
Is in it. He's like the computer store guy.
Oh, wow.
So what are you doing over there?
Nothing. Just fiddling with my joystick.
Fiddling with your joystick?
Are you interested in hardware, or is it more software?
Hardware.
Great.
We gotta watch Fair Game.
Okay.
Oh man.
I'm getting a little bored with your petty incompetence.
Fuck what you think. You tap phones for a living. I tap banks. Without me, you'd still be stuck in Havana pulling bananas out of your ass.
So then they have to move in with, it turns out, his brother. Although the way that they were treating him, I guess maybe that makes sense for brothers, but also not.
But also his brother is the worst actor, and so it was extra funny.
So awful.
He's like a pseudo Bill Paxton. Like he's got a Bill Paxton vibe, but he's got a rat tail.
Yeah.
Bun going on. Yeah. And Tom Selleck just pouring his heart out about the loss of his wife and really feeling vulnerable about this. Does it need dill or maybe some paprika?
Will I ever trust anyone again? And then along comes Nina, and she makes me feel like no one has in a long, long time. And that's really something. But then again, I love Susan. And one day I saw this stranger walking out on me.
Try some paprika.
Just like that.
They're all just not.
They're all. Oh, I'm sorry. You were saying something about love? What? Oh my God, Billy's on the roof.
It got me.
Again, you're right. Just so completely dismissively undercuts him
every time.
At any point.
At any moment, any possible moment.
Yeah.
It's kind of subversive in that way.
Yeah.
Because the rom-coms are usually, this woman's a mess.
Sure.
You know, her mother, when are you going to get married? You know,
right,
it's like everyone's always...
the mom especially always, right? Oh, honey,
mom.
you should cut back on those carbs. You're a little chunky or, whatever.
The mom, even the friends sometimes.
Sure.
Get it together, whatever. At work, I'm a mess at work. I can't get it together. So it's kind of funny that it did the opposite.
Parsley makes erections last longer. How is it?
I'll let you know tonight.
Because parsley does make erections last longer.
Oh my God.
I've never had anything that big stuck down my throat before.
That's not what I've heard.
I've never had something so big in my mouth. That's not what I heard. Sass.
Yeah.
Cunty sass.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, all throughout.
And that weird ADR of the brother. Oh, for God's sakes.
Tony's stuck on the roof. Oh my God.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
I'll just play the clip. It was very strange.
Okay, good.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
But yes, Paulina Porizkova utilizes her acrobatic skills and saves Billy from the barn.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, it's
Because you're like, God, is she a trained killer? Right? She's great at archery and knife throwing.
And trampolining.
Yeah. You're like, oh, okay. And then the horseback riding and rope climbing.
Yep. And balance beaming.
Yeah. Now it all makes sense.
Yeah.
The circus. Yeah, so then they really have like the we're in love moment where they're like living together at his brother's house, and it seems like they've kind of fallen into agreement. They had sex and now they're like letting it become a thing.
They're
Let's
catching
see where
feelings.
this goes. Yeah. There was a real weird setup. I guess that's the point, right? She's like, oh, I've made you all dinner. It's Stanislav,
something like that.
Day.
Well, but on St. Stanislaw Day, the youngest woman in the house, usually a virgin, she prepares a meal and then she leaves.
For how long?
No, until after.
And it's a tradition for the youngest woman to make dinner and then leave. This was a setup for her to leave.
She was like, I need a reason to leave. They're all fucking stupid Americans. I'll just make up some fucking fake thing and they'll believe me.
Great. And they're all chowing down on her
stew.
Delicious stew. It didn't look that good to me, but whatever. And he fed it to the cat. I shouldn't have trusted you. I mean, this one wasn't that. I mean,
it wasn't like... It's no old Yeller.
No. Well, and the cat doesn't get murdered, really.
Right.
But anyway.
Oh, right. Trigger warning.
Yeah.
There is a dead cat.
Yes.
It's not super dramatic. You don't see it happen, but it is quite sad.
It is. It's sad. Anyway. Oh my God. She poisoned us.
She
is trying to kill us. Yeah.
She poisoned us.
I can tell you that.
No, really. I'm serious. The cat.
Oh my God! It's true!
And
this is full camp.
Yes.
They run into the kitchen and Consuela the maid is like, you fucking idiots. And the dumb brother is like,
here's the antidote for liquid drain opener. Try it.
Oh, you try.
We gotta get this stuff analyzed.
I'd rather die.
Here, Drano, it's the antidote. And it's this like bubbling poison. I'd rather die. Like,
I think you might after, like, I saw Heather's.
Corn nuts.
We'll talk about it.
Why? What does that mean?
Connections. I'll tell you later.
Oh, okay.
In the next episode.
Oh, okay, great.
And yes, they think they've been poisoned. They race to the hospital. They get their stomachs pumped. They come back. The neighbor is like, oh, sorry. The cat was chasing a rat in our fuse box and it got electrocuted. So we put the cat in we didn't want to disturb your dinner party. And it was a long walk. But,
it was a long walk.
They easily could have been like, oh no, there was also rat poison out or something.
Yeah. I think the cat got into the rat poison. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it died.
But anyway, so she didn't try to poison them. Oh my gosh. But she comes back because she, has to say goodbye. She doesn't want to just leave.
Yeah.
And
she's caught feelings. And then she reads his story about his fan fiction of her
and
him.
Daring choice to make his martini with an olive and a twist.
Disgusting. Wrong.
I just love how bad his
It's
writing
awful.
is.
Awful.
On purpose.
Yeah.
And how much everyone constantly makes fun of him.
I thought perhaps maybe you had forsaken writing altogether. I missed that character of yours, that Peter Swine.
Swift.
Of course. Peter Swift. He's so populist.
Jack, darling.
Yeah.
And then we find out later, William Daniels is like, I love that your books are bad and predictable. There's comfort in that.
Yes. Readers love it. It sells.
It's like kind of like meta for the movie.
Yes.
Like, it's just fun and predictable and nice.
Frankly, what I like most about your books is they're predictable. I mean, that's a very comforting quality. Readers love it.
Although this movie is not predictable.
It's not predictable. They do end up at a clown funeral. That does.
That sentence is true, and that is insane.
Happen. But I really enjoyed this scene where she reads his book.
Yep.
And she says, I have to leave. I can't tell you what's going on. And he says, you can't leave. He's being possessive.
Yeah, and she's like, I'm not one of your characters. I make my own choices, and I'm choosing to leave.
I
bitch.
write my own words.
And she didn't say bitch, but
you can't go.
I'm not a character in your book. You cannot tell me to stay or to go. You didn't invent me. And you do not write my words. I do as I choose, and now I choose to go.
I write my own words. I'm my own person. You didn't invent me.
Right.
And I was just like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He didn't do anything unforgivable.
Right.
So I liked that it was like, this is something we can have a fight about and then
get back to
move forward.
But it's not as tropey as like, you lied to me about being an undercover writer trying to make an article about how to lose a guy in 10 days. You know, that.
It wasn't that.
You're missing that.
Oh, right. So thanks to the help of his court buddies,
Yes!
they discover that the truth is that she is of Romanian clown descent and quite famous. And
the whole family is trying to defect.
Is trying to defect from the Soviet Union, and they don't want them to because they're so famous that it would cause, a bad look.
Right.
So I guess they'd rather kill them, capture them, and bring them back at gunpoint.
I think they were willing to kill her to get to the rest of the family because at least they would have the rest of the family.
Maybe.
Their motivations are unclear.
Yeah.
They all meet up at the funeral of Grimaldi in these really, really fabulous Vogue-level clown outfits that I was into.
Get it.
William Daniels he's like a tramp. It was like when Judy Garland and Fred Astaire did, I think it's an Easter parade, they do the clowning.
The Vanderbilts have asked us up for tea.
Or, that big clown in Venice that's like got the 5 o'clock shadow, but then the bottom half is like a ballerina.
Venice, the city, or like Venice,
the city.
a movie?
I'm sorry, Venice, California.
Oh. Oh.
The big.
Yes. Yeah.
It was, anyway, it was a little bit like, I was really into it. The jacket, I was like, yes, I'm into this. This is all great. Anne Roth, really bravo.
Production design overall, like fun, interesting, lots of visually
memorable
to soak in. There's a lot of things to look at, and it informs everything else. All of the details. Again, that's just what I miss is like details.
Uh-huh.
Oh, someone took the time to figure it out and to try and say something.
Yeah.
Because then, if the script is like, or there's a moment or whatever, you're taking things in visually that inform the rest of the story, that informs everyone's motivations.
Yeah.
That's informing this or that, and it's really nice. Anyway.
I'm really excited that we were defending this movie that has 17%
on
Rotten Tomatoes. But I love it. I have a fun time watching it.
I did have a fun time watching it.
I find them both to be charming and charismatic. Yeah. And I like the plot, and I think it's really funny.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, they get into a big brawl at the, how do you say dick face in Romanian? I'm not dick face.
No! How do you say in Romanian, get lost, dick face?
What dick face? Vino!
He has his, comes back to save the day moment.
Right? And this feels more earned. He gets his confidence back.
Yes.
He's like, oh, I can move forward and be more, I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
He gets to save her,
yes.
But it's not in an annoying, tropey kind of way.
No, it's not. And they're back in bed, and she...
We got another enormous beetle.
Oh my God, right?
Ah!
Got it.
No, we had to have one last. Is she telling the truth?
Right, and that was...
Well, because the whole movie,
there's
this, her alibi.
Yes.
The murder is looming over it, and not till the last 2 minutes. So whatever happened? Who killed that guy?
Yeah.
Weird, right?
Yeah.
I've had time to rebuild my house after it was exploded.
Yeah. We didn't redecorate.
We didn't redecorate, but
it was a different wing.
That's the next chapter. But anyway, so who fucking killed that guy? Weird, right?
Yeah.
And then, it was one of those KGB guys. Don't worry about it.
You know the guy that you punched? It was him.
Oh, okay.
Okay, great. Got it.
Got it.
And we get a Randy Newman song over the credits.
That's right.
Falling in Love. So that was part 1.
Yes.
Of this theme.
Yeah, come
we'll
back.
see you later this week for Hudson Hawk.
Oh boy.
Which is also an experience.
Oh my God, is it?
It might be an even more profound experience than La La Ree.
Oh, yeah, somehow, yes. I've never seen such a melange of random things put together on film.
Yep.
So cheers, we'll see you for that.
Cheers to Her Alibi.
Yeah.
And rom-coms.
Yes.
Cheers to rom-coms.
Yeah.